him where he's still a part of the team, even when he's not at the event. He's like not a coach. They're talking to him between every game. He's helping them come up with all their strats. So I think OG come out strong, and then I think Beastcoast is a team that's going to adapt and adjust and make Game 2 very close or likely even win it.
Yeah, is going to be some craziness from Beastcoast? What do you guys think? Some heroes that we haven't seen from them before?
Surely, right? Or at least in crazy positions. We had that Rubik 3 at the same time, though we had OG have a Bloodseeker offlane.
For Beastcoast, I think flexibility is also through the roof. For OG, though, they do have Seb on that position 5 playing another 4. They do have, like you mentioned, the Bloodseeker on the offlane being the second carry pretty much. So it's possible that both of these teams are going to have, and they're going to play a lot of these mind games in the drafting stage.
They managed to convince Schofield to play a ranged 4 this tournament, so they're really just so versatile this tournament. I'm feeling really good about it.
They got that ranged 4, that's it. They're at the peak of their performances, what you're saying, Sheep.
Yeah. But honestly, talking about OG, going back to their series versus LGD, Game 1 was a stomp. Like, it was beyond a stomp. It was a stomp of a stomp. There was this Storm IO that they had in their back pocket. They were running this Yuragi troll. Like, we cast a lot of doubt on the troll. Oh, troll, this is not a very good hero, but Yuragi got involved so well with the rest of the team. Like, I feel the most confident about strats this tournament, where the carry can just, like, meet up with the team, fight around mid, like, take a tower and, like, get map control.
Keep in mind that every single pick of that OG strat made so much sense because it was also countering everything that PSG LGD had. Like, if you remember the troll, it was into the Slardar. If you remember the Bloodseeker, it was into the Pango. Plus they had IO Chen combination. This combination might be the key for success of OG.
Do you think OG is the sort of team that responds and can adapt their playstyle to whatever their opponent is drafting? Or do you feel like Beastcoast is more that team?
I would say Beastcoast is slightly more that team, personally speaking. I feel like OG have their picks, and it's often what they're going to be picking or playing based on what you leave in the pool. It's just a question of whether you can beat it. I think some of their adaptations and adjustments usually come from Yuragi, because his hero pool is just so wide. He's played like the most heroes of any of the OG players when it comes to this tournament. It's pretty expected what Tiger's going to play, what Seb's going to play. So the adjustments kind of come just from their carry role.
Yeah. On the other side, you have like Chris Luck, whose carry pool, mid pool is super wide as well. Like, he just has like a hero ocean. That's what people say, because he'll play anything. And we've seen him play like dead hero, Shadow Fiend. He buys like a Dragon Lance, disassembles it into a BKB, and like just runs this build, and it looks kind of good.
That's just the SA specialist.
Yeah, right?
Like, they are very willing to play all these heroes that are kind of considered dead at the moment, but if they feel that it's the right time, the right game, they will pick them.
Yeah. I think like Hector on the other is like the kind of less hero pool. You're probably just gonna see him on like his Wraith King or a Juggernaut or something. High preference. Yeah. This is a stubborn team. They do bring their own like meta as a team. Like, yeah, we really like the Luna all the time. We really like Batrider all the time.
And it's sometimes nice, right? Like, to have this one stable player constantly playing the same heroes. It's nice because you get very well-shaped drafts around these guys. Like, even if you get countered on those heroes, you know how to supplement the hero properly to actually make work later on. We've seen something very similar coming out of Entity. Stormer, he might have played 5-6 heroes, right? But the rest of the draft would always be so well-shaped around him.
We've seen OG play 22 games at this major for now. Out of those 22 games, have you guys been able to see a weakness at all in how they play, how they draft, anything that you feel could give Beastcoast an advantage?
Yeah, in the group stage, I was watching a lot of their games and felt that they struggled with, like, sometimes they would overcommit in these fights. Like, you could kind of bait them into like going a little bit too far across the river. Sometimes their buyback management was a little bit off. Like LGD, I think LGD would commit more buybacks than OG would, and they would like lose fights over it. They played some pretty clean Dota in their last series though, so I do feel like they've kind of cleaned those issues up.
Sometimes the benefits that you're getting from having 2 position 4s can also be a detriment to your whole lineup. Staiga, if he's playing a hero that needs more and he doesn't get it fast enough, it can make for a slower paced mid game that you don't necessarily wish for.
Well, here we go. OG versus Beastcoast, Game 1 draft. This is an elimination match. OG have second pick. They've opted for this, which means how Beastcoast going to be looking? What do you feel is their first pickup that they're hoping to get?
We'll see. Tiny is already banned out, so that leaves Puck in the pool. Which is
Chen's in the pool.
Chen is in the pool.
Oh god, Chen's in the pool.
Beastcoast, at least so far, hasn't been the team that just wants to straight up first pick Puck. They'll play the Puck maybe more like, as a second pick in that 8 slot, or they'll pick it even in the second phase, but they're not just going to jam a first pick Puck thinking it's this like unbeatable hero.
Do you think for OG now it's the Razor or the Chen? Because both are left in the pool.
Well, Beastcoast don't really play the Razors. I guess if anything, it's Chen or maybe something else, I think.
Beastcoast also highly value the snap, right? Because they play it on like 4 positions at least.
Okay, they ban out the Chen, and Beastcoast now, they do have this first phase pick.
Yeah, it's tough because, you're versing OG, so maybe you're like, we don't play much Razor, but do we have to take it away? Like, we banned 2 of Amar's heroes here, but what about that third scary one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we said earlier, right, that we weren't sure how it was best for teams to counter Razor. So if they do take it, OG might have a response to that, right? They love playing this hero. They know what they want to put against it.
This is Razor Shaker, right, from OG. I think they're prepared for Marcy. This is the answer to Marcy during the group stage in the playoffs. Maybe OG shake things up a little bit and go in a different direction, but it seems so simple.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's maybe the plan of Beastcoast? Just let them have these heroes. Shaker is picked. Let's see if it's 2 out of 2, and we get the Lizard.
Well done, Lizard.
Wow, pat on the
You
back.
did your homework.
Wow, hey, just 2 most picked heroes in that.
Can I ask your opinion?
Nope.
No, I wasn't asking you now. Can I ask your opinion, Gods and Lizard? What are you thinking about Venomancer? Because my opinion of this hero was very low coming into this tournament, and we've seen Whisper playing it really well, Toby playing it really well against these like blink heroes like Shaker and heroes without like mobility on their spells like Razor, right? What do you think of it?
That was the idea, right? Like whenever we saw the Venomancer, it was against the Shaker. It had a good laning stage, but it still didn't work every single time. I feel that you can get it, but you need a really good lineup around it.
Yeah, and I think you kind of nailed it. You need to hit both those 2 points, I think, not just against some of these blink heroes like Shaker, but also against like a melee safe laner that struggles their spinner, like the Voids and stuff.
And sometimes, if you need too many things to make a hero work, it's probably not the greatest sign, right?
Yeah.
It's not overly viable.
Nat, I want to hear your opinion now. Nat, what do you think about the Venom?
Exactly what Lizard said. Yeah, for sure. Instead, now we're just going to look at this draft because we've got another pick. It is the Batrider. Beastcoast pick it up. I'm going to assume that they knew OG were probably going to ban it out the next phase. That's what's happened in the past against them, and they really just sort of value it.
They like this bat right into Razor too. They were doing this in the group stages, like where Razor's still in the pool. It was like, first phase hero for a lot of teams, and their response was often the Batrider. It's just a go-to. They flex it. It's actually Whisper who plays it more in the offlane. They're kind of one of the exceptions when it comes to picking Batrider, in that they don't play it in the mid lane as much.
And
Sometimes they do though. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no.
Like as in Whisper has played it mid in the past, and like Chris Luck has gone like offlane on a Monkey King.
So if it gets countered by something like they just banned out, like the Void, they can still switch.
Yeah,
they can
exactly.
Mid. But it's a good duo on the offlane, and by banning out the Void, it kind of does make you think that this will be the offlane Batrider.
They would like it to be an offlaner at least. That's usually they go into the draft picking this, trying to set up a scenario where they can send offlane because they want Whisper playing Bat, and they want to give Chris Luck a hero later in the draft that's like more of a counter pick.
The only problem that I see right now is you already committed to banning out Void. Do you commit to even more bans? Because Void isn't the only and the best thing against the Bat.
Well, there's a lot of heroes that can give Batrider problems, which is where they've had to run it mid in the past as well.
Mm-hmm. It's scary to me because I think Entity ran the Batrider so many times that a lot of teams have got a good idea now of what is good against it. We saw Shadow Demon, we saw Nyx Assassin, there's a lot of things, right? Yeah. Storm Spirit too. OG literally picked Io Storm. I know Io's been banned, but they might still not be shy to pick the Storm alone, right? There's even a Coddle still in the pool to complement it.
Yeah, Storm later on against Batrider is really good. In the laning stage as well, it's great, but...
Ooh, that's
go
new.
With this. Yeah, this actually has been picked in the group stages, I believe, once.
Was it Liquid?
Probably.
It was Liquid. Insane.
Insane, probably.
I think it was against Batrider too, right? Or
of course.
Yeah,
that's the reasoning behind the Oracle, right? Like you're playing versus the Batrider has a really bad time against an Oracle.
So then where do you feel this Bat has to go if the support is essentially just given it a bit of a tough game?
I think it still goes on that offlane.
Yeah.
Like you still play 3 and 4. Oracle's strength isn't only in the laning stage; it's later on. Like you cannot pretty much use your lasso. All your spells get dispelled or blocked by Fate's Edict.
I wonder how, if OG will get funky with their draft though, because back in the day when Oracle was more picked, you would pair it with a Death Prophet or like a Huskar even. This is OG we're talking about. You could even see it with like the Shrek as well, these heroes that just will push their like mana pools and health pools to the limit, and Oracle like just keeps them alive.
Yeah, and they benefit from all that extra regen.
Yeah.
It's a good idea because of the same way Dazzle came back into the meta, because he was just a strong standalone hero. And then teams realized, wait, we can actually combo this. We can get some Necros, some Terrorblades, some Death Prophets to make this hero actually shine. I wouldn't mind seeing a great combination with an Oracle, but it's not a necessity, right? Like it still can be just an Oracle against the bat.
Beastcoast are using a fair amount of time here. What do you think is running through their mind? I know that they're picking back-to-back, but...
They're thinking Whisper needs to go on
like, we need to bring this Rubik back.
I think it's, figuring out kind of what they want to do with the Batrider, if they want to keep it maybe flexible. Like if they pick a support plus or some flex heroes with Hector's hero here, then they can still swap the bat between mid and off lane. Like they're still not really committed to anything here. This Rubik could be a support, could be a core. The Batrider can go mid, can go off lane still. So I think I would like them to pick Hector's hero just because it,
that's the life of a team whose position 4 only plays melee hero. Suddenly Rubik gets into your offlane pool.
Yeah.
Oh, Bloodseekers. That's most likely going to be the Hector hero. How has his performance in the past been with it?
It's solid. Like he's kind of changed and adapted his playstyle. He's grown. He comes to fights now. In the past, it was always the bit of a meme with him just hitting up the jungle and always top net worth. Nowadays, he's a much more active carry player, and I think Bloodseeker can really suit that and have a pretty stable lane against a likely offlane Razor.
Sheep, do you like Bloodseeker no matter what? Because so far we've seen Bloodseeker versus
a ride or die.
I love Bloodseeker like as a hero and what he brings to a team. I saw like a fantastic game from Arteezy on it where he was so active from like 8 minutes onwards, and if Beastcoast can replicate that, then I love it, right? Because you can't purge the Rupture from Oracle. When he hits 6, there is a lot of kill threat. I'm just scared about the lane. If they do put this Razor against him, it's hard. Maybe they want to go for a lane swap. Maybe they don't. I think Bloodseeker is usually really good at sustaining himself in lane, but if you're getting like Fisher blocked off and linked up, that seems really scary.
And there's also this fact that Bloodseeker has been mostly picked into chunky boys, right? Into these big heroes, into the Bristlebacks and the like. Because of that shard, he benefits quite a bit from it. He chews right through them. OG, they don't necessarily have to go that route. They can still pick these Agile cores, right? Like your Agile can play something like a Jug. It's possible.
Do you think that Bloodseeker then is also a little bit to try and dissuade OG? Maybe those big tanky boys are part of Amar's hero pool, and so they're trying to quote-unquote deter him from most of the heroes he's comfortable on with it?
That's way too far thinking. It's like next 2 levels. I'm still on the base level.
I'm sorry. I'll dial back.
And I think they've almost certainly locked up Amar's hero with the Razor pick. Like there is potential for a flex into the safe lane if they see something really good. But they're going to go into the Ursa. I think Ursa against Bloodseekers always felt pretty nice because you get Rupture and you've got the Enrage, so you can just kind of stall it out with that bit of survivability.
A little bit of that combo that Sheep was talking about, right? Like with the Oracle, not the greatest one, but still pretty solid.
Yeah.
I think like Beastcoast are now deciding where they want to put Bat, because Chris Sluck can play on that off lane. So if they do think the Bat is better to go mid, I think like OG have drafted nicely here in that they are holding their mid hero for loss. So when Beastcoast reveal what lanes they want, OG get to just, finish out the draft with a good counter pick.
And they banned Storm, so that suggests Beastcoast is maybe like, okay, maybe we need to send Bat mid. Let's ban some of the counter picks.
Yeah.
Where would you guys put these lanes?
Like right now,
fully knowing the matchups.
If I'm Beastcoast, I still wouldn't change things up way too hard. Even though Oracle is a bad matchup, like you can play the Bat and Marcy on that offlane and do all right. Like you can always resort to creep skipping, and Batrider should have a decent time there.
Yeah. OG banned Veno Beast as the last 2. Is that protecting them, or is this like a foreshadowing of what they feel is the role that Beastcoast are trying to fill?
That's a full protection, right?
Yeah, Veno good against the Ursa lane, and also their cores like Razor plus Ursa don't deal well with the summons, the zoo, so to speak, which is where the Beastmaster ban I think comes in a bit. They've got the Shaker, but that's really all they've got for that kind of strat. So it is a consideration at Beastcoast. They went for a Lycan yesterday. They could take that approach to their draft. It's kind of all-in-ish. Like, they don't scale that well. They don't have much team fight if they pick a Lycan, but it does give them a timing and a window where they can just win the game.
Yeah, I don't mind that idea at all. Like, just have all the summons and all the creeps dominated sent towards Razor, towards the Oracle. The game can become extremely rough in that mid game. If you're Ruptured and all the creeps are running at you, there's no saving that.
Yeah, I was thinking that Beastcoast could do well with like another tank that can run in, sort of like a DP-esque hero, but it's hard when you're playing into Ursa because he's like a tank killer. So she might not do that job so effectively. Because right now I need someone to like kind of bait heroes in so that the back can get like the right lasso off. Pango works fine. It just gives them way more team fight, which they were lacking.
A lot of flexibility as well, right? Like right now you can see what OG picks. You can put the Pango and Bat on offlane or mid lane. You can swap those heroes out. So it keeps things open for Beastcoast, and it makes it a little bit harder for OG to get this last pick.
Is there anything that draft needs to really round it out, or do you feel that they hit most of the things on the head and that the draft is already looking really solid? Kind of go for comfort now.
For OG?
Yeah.
Do you guys feel that a playmaker is needed maybe?
I feel like I often say that when I see some OG drafts, but then they just make these 3 semi-echoes work. They're all just farming. They, get strong in the mid game, and then they just group up and win one team fight and the game's over. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine it because Beastcoast look like they want to go smoke up, make fights, hit timings. Oh, that's good.
Invoker last pick.
That's a BZM Invoker, man. But are we going to see Quaswex or Exhort? Because he does both.
I think it's still the Quaswex versus Bat. If Bat is mid, right? Then you deal with him that way.
Even against the it feels like it's kind of on the greedier side to go Exhort. You've got the Fissure for some setup kills on the side lanes, but I mean, you mentioned Playmaker, Quaswex with the Spirit Vessel running around kind of fits the bill, especially a team like Beastcoast who wants to run at you and take lots of fight. Feels like they may need a Quaswex Invoker.
And the way Invoker is played right now, you end up having everything.
Very
At some point anyway.
Midas is back, baby.
Well, then where are you guys leaning for this game one? Is it OG? Is it Beastcoast?
Ooh, I do really like OG's Ursa pick a lot into Beastcoast heroes, especially if he gets that Ags, and then he can always, even without Oracle, he can break the lasso on his own. That being said, I think it's up to how well Beastcoast can take these early fights and really like set the pressure.
Do you have faith in Invoker, gods?
If it's Quaswex, I mean, absolutely. I have faith in Invoker, but I think more so I have faith in this Shaker plus Razor. Like, there just hasn't been too many great heroes to play in the Razor.
Razor on one side, Invoker on the other. I don't know. I'm actually going Beastcoast for game one.
Oh, wow. All right. Lizard just coming out there swinging big words. He's a Beastcoast supporter for this game one. But we're going to jump over to our casters, Gareth and Lacoste.
Yeah, we're super excited for this. We hope you are all excited as well. Arlington, as we get ourselves into game one of this best of 3 Beastcoast with a pretty chaotic looking draft. OG with some really serious laning power. What are your thoughts, Lacoste?
Beastcoast asked themselves, how many displacement abilities do you want to have this game combined with Rupture? And the answer is yes. There's a Rubik Lift, the Batrider, Mars to Dispose, like even Pangolier Roll can do some damage. And I feel like this is going to be a hype one, Gary.
Oh, listen to them go. Well, you know who the fans in the crowd are favoring?
Oh, Sam's complaining about the sound. Yeah, that's the crowd sound.
Go on, let him hear it again then.
Players want to hear their in-game sound, so we'll see. Once they are set up, they're going to be ready to go. BZM on Invoker this time around. It's always a treat to watch it, and Amar on his signature Razor. In terms of the lane setup for OG, it's going to be what you would expect. Shaker and Razor on the off lane, and also having the Purge mechanic, the spell mechanic from Oracle against the Batrider. I also want to see potentially Beastcoast might be swapping things around, put this Rubik against the Razor, but seems like it's not going to be the thing. Go when ready, Seb says.
Yeah, you'd expect them to maybe try and keep the Bloodseeker away from the Razor as well, but we'll find out what Beastcoast do around these first bounty rune spawns. And see Smile. He wants the lights off. He's used to playing in a dark room. Out on stage now, completely different atmosphere. Top 6 for Beastcoast. And looking to go even further. See Smile starting out looking for these observer wards, but we're seeing a lot of adaptations and even teams just not bothering to ward in that mid lane anymore. Some nice high fives between Amar and C Smile as well.
They did not want to attack each other. Amar wanted to keep things simple, go for the high fives instead. C-Smile will be playing that Pangolier on the mid lane. There aren't many things that can stop Pangolier from rolling this time around. Like, there is a Fissure that sometimes can block you off, but also you can bounce off of it. So it's the way you use it. So we'll see how C-Smile is going to do. In terms of the lane, might struggle a bit against the Invoker from the mid lane, but yeah, looking at some of the spell mechanics, Bloodseeker, he's been a hero that comes online extremely quickly, and Panel did touch upon K1 being a bit more active lately. Oh, Taiga actually snatches the rune.
Cheeky. Comes in and takes it. Stinger and Gojira, though, both getting a couple themselves. 3, in fact, for Beastcoast. That could have been 4. Tiger, fortunately for OG, going to grab 1. And yeah, as you say, K1 over the last year or so, the past couple of tours, definitely has picked up the pace in terms of his play style. Was very much, called the AFK jungler. He was very good at his farm patterns, building up bank, but more recently, shifting away from some of those strength heroes into agi ones and playing more aggressively.
He definitely needed to adjust his playstyle because meta did shift. And looking at the mid lane, BZM starting with the EMP already, burning some of the mana from Pangolier. Pango without a mana, very difficult to play. Like, you don't really provide much, so that's going to be the way. And yeah, looking at some of these stats, I saw some low numbers, Gary.
20% win rate on Radiant, but it's kind of hard for any heroes on Radiant this tournament so far, isn't it?
It really is.
Very well. Okay, one up at top, sitting 1-1. Seb on the Earthshaker and Amar the Razor going to be incredibly good in this dual lane against what Beastcoast have. Just keep fishing, securing range creeps, and until Beastcoast are level 2, you're not particularly afraid of anything. Maybe once they've got the Dispose into Blood right is when you start to worry.
Once they get level 2 on Marcy and have that Blood Right that you mentioned, this is where they're going to start playing a bit more aggressive. Already down to half HP on Razor, and if the other lanes are also playing aggressively, that means Bloodseeker will be having some extra move speed, and this you got to be a bit more careful about it.
Yeah, you're right. That's one of the reasons why this Bloodseeker is so able to play active early on. Doesn't really need too many items, can buy the upgraded boots, the treads or the phase, then a javelin into Maelstrom, but you're already running around looking for pickoffs. Here's the Blood Right. Seb not fast enough to get out of it. Not too bothered so far though. And Stinger does have to rebound away. How's that bottom lane going? Uragi and Tiger getting some good damage on Gojira.
Oh, I'm looking at the mid lane. Pango's really struggling without mana. He's not able to put any pressure on Invoker, and he can't even get CS. Right now, sitting at only 3, while Invoker is 9 and 6.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, BZM crushing it. Does have his bottle coming out now, though, C-Smile, but look at that, the Tornado to harass. Get a couple more CS, and Invoker going for Water Runes. Grabbing them up and keeping himself topped up, while top. Static Link, the Fissure on the wrong side, so K1 able to sprint.
Oh, C-Smile, he's not going to be able to pick up the other Water Rune. BZM will deny it, so that's pretty big. It does have a bottle. I want to see if OG is going to make a rotation, potentially pick up that 3-minute bounty rune and take away some of the regeneration from him. Because right now he's really struggling, sitting at 140 mana. If there's a rotation from Earthshaker on the mid lane, it's potentially a kill. But speaking of Earthshaker, Sebastian might be in trouble.
Disposed back into K1, Fairy Fire and Fissure, but Seb's about to drop.
Gets
There's
the
first blood for K1.
At least he got the career kill before he died, and K1 off to a really good start. This is what you want to have with the Bloodseeker. He does have Boots of Speed to be able to break the link. This is a killer lane for Beastcoast.
And it also stopped that move you were talking about, right? The natural move of the Earthshaker to go to that top bounty rune, coming towards mid to guard the 4-minute rune. C-Smile goes and gets the bounty because of that kill. Make sure they guarantee it. Well, Amar, always in the Blood Right again, gets off the stick, but it's not enough. K1 diving under tower. Another one for this safe lane of Beastcoast. And they're even dropping the OG voice lines on them.
They came well prepared for this series, and Sam is striking back as expected. BZM one more time guarding that top rune. C-Smile getting whatever he can. It's a difficult one for him. 9-1 compared to 20-9 on Invoker. He also decided to go for second Null Talisman just to be able to dominate this matchup on the bottom lane. Whisper thinking about getting in.
Yeah, they are diving this. I mean, Tiger is going to throw the Fortune's End towards the bat himself, so the sticky napalm charge is still up. As BZM's rotation aiming for the Whisper bat. They do kill Tiger, but Whisper, he wants a little bit more. He wants Uragi. Still looking like he's going to die here, even in the trees. They're very far to turn around, though. They're going to kill the Ursa.
There's going to be another one for BZM. He's going to be able to clean up. What a rotation. You don't expect the Invoker to TP this early. Pangolier, he's... Oh, never mind, top lane.
They've got the chain stuns on K1, so an extended static link from Amar. But the disposed back Stinger trying to disengage. He will fall here to a couple more little hits from the Razor.
Amar stole too much damage, sitting at 61 2 points in that static link. But they do have enough move speed to break the link now, especially with phase boots completed on Bloodseeker, and also that extra move speed coming up from Rebound.
I wonder if Seb there was thinking of the kill. Got that nice observer ward placed, so we will see them coming. He's going to cancel Salve. No, he's just going to let it get away with it. Yeah, looking at this Invoker now, 24 and 13 for BZM. What does he head into next with the double null build? Is he still going to go earn?
Yeah, the most definitely, because it does give you that kill potential. It's just the way to go when you're playing Quaswax Invoker, and almost has it. It needs another 50 gold to finish it.
And he's rotating bottom. Why farm creeps when you can try and farm heroes? He does get scouted though. Dire Vision just in behind that bottom lane. Sees the Invoker coming in.
Because he did rotate. C-Smile managed to catch up in terms of farm. Let's see if he manages to pick up the rune.
Well, he fakes out the Rolling Thunder, and he does take it. Right under the nose of Uragi. Illusion Rune, not that. It will refill his bottle nonetheless. Oh, but look at that. BZM connects perfectly. Illusion Rune to get away from the cold snap. That might have kept him alive with a bottle charge, but the stacks of Fury swipes, they build up quickly.
It's roaming Ursa at this point.
They go in on Stinger. Rebound puts him back into danger. Amar trying to chase him. K1 running back to the creep wave. He wants to get those last hits in.
Seb is pinging it out. They do have Observer Ward. Potentially could maybe went for the block, but Fisher unfortunately was on cool. And BZM again makes a rotation. This is going to be an earn charge for him.
He's everywhere. Bottom lane, mid lane, now up to top lane. Stops the Rolling Thunder with the cold snap earn. C-Smile. Oh, he's just dancing on the spot. What are you up to, buddy? Can't get his ulti off while down at bottom. They are diving Tiger, but Uragi's arrival will send Whisper back.
Usually we see these Pangoliers being stuck in different terrains, but this time around he was stuck in a spot because of that Urn of Shadow charge that BZM just got.
That's perfect timing there. C-Smile unable to get any of these Rolling Thunders out, and he is one of their big forms of team fight and initiation. But if he's just being harassed constantly like this, all of your mana's gone now. So if you bottle charge up a couple of times, you have the choice of farming a few neutral camps or roaming to a lane. You don't have both.
And look at the build on C-Smile, skipping mana boots completely, going for Diffusal Blade immediately.
Down goes
Tiger will drop.
So Whisper, top of the net worth for his team, just being overtaken by the Bloodseeker a little bit there. As we see, Beastcoast getting run at. K1 is fine. Dispose, Amar. It's just harassment right now. No real kill threat. Pre-level 6 here. And Bloodseeker would love to get up to that rupture.
OG investing in a lot of small items in this lane. Amar going for full Magic Wand, 2 Raid Bands, even an extra branch, and Seb having Casual Gauntlets, Magic Wand, Strength Hero that has a lot of HP, making it very difficult for them to get a kill.
I just saw them kill the Ursa. Whisper's now level 7.5. He really is the carry of Beastcoast from this off lane. We say it every single time, but he's the one that makes the space, finds the kills, outplays his opponent.
I don't remember last time I've seen Whisper having a bad game.
He doesn't. He just doesn't. Tiger. Oh, the of a battle between him and Rubik, but Invoker going to come in. No longer a 1v1 duel. And C-Smile, he will get the Thunder out this time. Rolling in towards Tiger, but he can't connect on any heroes. Has to back up to safety. Well, it looks like Seb trying to line something up, but Fisher on cooldown. It means the Panga will be back behind his tier 2.
BZM completely shut down C-Smile on Pangolier, not having enough mana to do anything.
Stinger, trying to defend K1. Ruptures on the Razor, rebound back, the Fisher in with a magic nuke damage from the Oracle and the EMP. Finds the takedown on K1's Bloodseeker, but Whisper, he's in and hunting for kills. Tiger and Seb, pretty low on HP, but Stinger has to run it back. Amar doing an awful lot of damage here with the stolen plasma field and the chase in. Seb gets the Echo Slam down, but C-Smile, he grabs a triple.
This is the rotation that Beastcoast needed. They bring the numbers. In these elimination games, we're going to see more of that. People being more active. It's 17 kills, 10 minutes into the game. And this is the Fusel Blade down now in Pangolier. He's back into the game.
What a recovery. Now third in net worth. Dead even. As the crowd gets behind Beastcoast. Yuragi gets on top of K1. Fortune's End holds him in place. K1 still faster than the Ursa though. While mid lane, that's the kill. Onto BZM we go. Take him down.
That was a kill before even getting the Fusel Blade, which is being delivered as we speak. So having an extra tool, having burning mana on heroes like Ursa, Oracle, even Earthshaker, because he does have very low mana pool. C-Smile.
He's got the Thunder.
Oh,
but the Fisher. Seb, he knew what was going on there. Great kill from Amar and Seb, setting up onto that fake pump of the Rolling Thunder. Dewarding mid now as well.
Usually it's fake it till you make it, but this time around, big loss for Beastcoast.
Yeah, huge one. I mean, that was Pango recovering greatly. He is now ahead of the Invoker in net worth though, but K1 down at the bottom of the cores. Not something we often see. But this, 11 to 20 minute period now is going to be his time to really catch up, get into his key item as well. The Pango and the Batrider, they are team fight space-making heroes, aren't they?
Yeah, they're ready to join relatively early on. Pango, we mentioned that the Fusel Blade, all his spells are maxed out. The rest of the Beastcoast will smoke. Gojira, level 7 on Rubik. Didn't talk too much about him. Does have Plasma Field, which is a lot of damage.
Yeah, huge nuke there. You pair it up with Telekinesis and Dispose. You can take people down quickly. Yuragi. Ruptured down bottom, just hiding
Zoning
in the trees.
Rupture.
Get away from our creep wave. Well, the rest of Beastcoast. Oh, the courier was spotted by the Obs Ward. It gets pinged out by Amar, so they know that Beastcoast are somewhere near that triangle. They might, in fact, figure out the wards that were just placed as well. You can see Amar just circling triangle. They're in here. We know exactly where they are. There's the Maelstrom done now for K1. BKB Lincoln's queued up, but BZM eyeing a potential kill, not going to go for it just yet. And we've talked about K1's obsessions with some items. His Lincoln Sphere that he likes queuing up, doesn't always buy it, but he does like putting it in the quick buy just in case. In this kind of game, what is it against the static link only?
Yeah, he's going to be afraid of that. And I think the big part is going to be Fortune's End dispelling his Blood Rage later on when he picks up the shard. Because if that's purged off, that means you're taking a lot of damage away from Bloodseeker.
Yeah, that's true. C-Smile with a DD rune. Let's see what he can get done with this. Because Gojira, he's farming jungle. And BZM, he's made the long migration from bottom triangle up to top jungle, finds the kill. Might have put himself in a bit of danger now, though.
Thunderstone and drums if you want to jump over. Here we go.
They're fighting in the pit, but the big kill's there. Onto the Invoker while C-Smile's echoed and taken down. Still looking for BZM as Stinger zapped into the ground by Amar. Finding yet another, and a save! Oh, they've kept BZM alive! Amar just TBs it out. No stuns gaming from Beastcoast at this point. And I don't know how they let BZM survive there.
They needed one extra hero to connect on BZM, lock him down in place so Batrider can deal damage, and this is going to be a freebie Roche. They're not going to contest. There is no Rupture, and there is no Lasso. In Dragit, this time around on Ursa, we've seen mostly Chinese teams play Ursa, going for Battle Fury, being able to scale into the late game, but even when he played Troll, he skipped the Battle Fury completely. They want to hit an earlier timing.
They want this tempo. See Smile, man, it's just so irritating to play against this Invoker with Cold Snap, EMP, good swashbuckle down to low ground, but clipped by the Tornado. OG must still look to chase the Fortune's End, allows him to catch up, but the Sunstrike is, C-Smile nearly dead. Not quite enough.
Well, they needed a bit of extra damage, maybe another Fissure. But OG, they're not overlapping any of their abilities. Yuragi with haste, looking for a kill.
Oh, he's hungry, isn't he?
They still didn't take this tier 1 tower on the top lane.
Anybody home? Oh, Gojira, you're here. We'll take you. Quick and easy one for OG. And even forcing a TP from Stinger. If they realize this, they do, because they've scanned. They know someone's in the jungle. They'll find Stinger here, so both supports dropping quickly from Beastcoast. No chance to defend this top tier 1 now as OG really laying it on thick and getting this pressure mounting.
OG really want to get stuff done with this first Aegis and the Diffusal Blade. Razor also one of the heroes that do join fights early on and going for the BKB as his first item. So that means that even though they have abilities that go through magic immunity, he's still going to feel relatively safe because there's multiple ways for OG to reset the fight with Fissure, with Tornado, even Oracle. Oracle did have a couple of deaths in the early game, but still having a decent amount of farm. He almost has a Blink Dagger.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, usually Oracle is one of these heroes that you don't need that many items on because your skill set is so diverse, you can fulfill a number of tasks in any given team fight. Now, primarily you're a saving hero, but you've got Magic Nuke, you've got healing, you've got catch as well. With that Blink Dagger, you can now sit even further behind the heroes you want to save.
Speaking of Blink Dagger, Sebastian just picked up his.
Oh, does he?
Blends down Observer Ward and Sentry. He wants to make sure there's no smoke being revealed, that this could be a big one.
They come in from the back, but it looks like Beastcoast was somewhat ready. Flood Right's there with a lasso in, they've caught them out, but Zeb! He's got the Echo on 3! They'll kill off Stinger and a save on BZM. Keeping that Invoker alive while C-Smart just bursts down.
Oh, Tiger's still alive.
Here and Tiger survives.
They're not done.
He's being hunted down now. The only survivor out of this one will be K1 because BZM, Tornado EMP into the Fissure, find one more.
I guess they did not expect this. Seb, usually so far in this major, has been going for Shard as his first item, and I guess they got surprised by how much gold he has. He's been involved in 10 kills out of 18, being very active early on, and that was a big Echo Salama.
It was perfect from him. It looked like Beastcoast were ready. They were holding the tree line, hiding in the fog, waiting, turned around, but they weren't expecting the counter initiation coming through from that Seb Shaker. Yeah, C-Smile here, baiting a little bit. Go on, you can have a go at me. Stinger scouts a few of them out. And then with the Rolling Thunder and the Firefly, they feel comfortable to go, but here it comes. He is so ready for this. 3 heroes surrounded. Yeah, there we have it.
Beautifully done. That means that he's going to have a Shard relatively soon. This is a 15-minute Blink Dagger, potentially 18-minute Shard on Earthshaker, and we can see him on screen fully focused.
Yeah. Making the shot call to the next kill, the next team fight. Always thinking into the future there, Seb. Yuragi has Aegis for another minute 20. So he's pretty happy just to dive and play aggressively. Fissure and Sunstrike coming through onto Gojira. Not quite enough to kill him though. He will turn back with the help of C-Smile. Killing off this Ursa once is a task in its own right, never mind twice. So Beastcoast retreating.
He's still going to go in.
He's hunting. In comes Seb again with a Fissure and a bit of a stun. They do kill off the Ursa once, and Tiger fell in the back lines while Amar with his BKB. Might have been a little bit too aggressive here.
Vesper does have lasso.
With a lasso! Amar, I don't know what he was thinking.
I guess he was thinking lasso is not available and Seb TP stop. There's a huge wave. Vision from Beastcoast. Yeah, fighting underneath the ward near the ancient creep camp, so that provided him a lot of vision. And good thing is that Ursa got out. I think it's the key here. He is right now close to the top of the network, going for the BKB next.
It's imperative imperative that he gets his BKB quickly. But oh my god, C-Smile, no way, he's dead again. This execution from OG has been spectacular. Fisher into Tornado, the EMP, everything on top.
Beautiful spell casting using Fortunes End and then following it up with Sunstrike if necessary, if they need more damage. And now BZM finishing his Hand of Midas. A bit of a later ones, but he did invest a lot of gold into early aggression going for that. Spirit Vessel does have 5 Spirit Vessel charges, so he doesn't need to care about what's going to happen in the next fight. He's always going to have those charges.
Yeah, he's perfectly ready to scale, to team fight, to do everything his team needs from him. And right now, it feels like Beastcoast is going to need some kind of smoke move to catch OG off guard. They need big kills. And we can see there Whisper a little bit frustrated in the player cam. He did just get a kill on Amar, but usually we see him up at the top of the net worth, you know, second, third place. Right now, down near the bottom. They have allowed K1 to catch up though, as we see here. Maelstrom BKB heading into the, what was that, Halberd coming up next?
He loves to build that item. Like before, when he was playing strength carries, it was always like a casual Sange, just in case. But I like it here a lot. He's playing into 2 heavy physical damage cores, Razor and Ursa. So this item, you get a lot of value. Another smoke.
Yeah, both of the teams. They want to clash. Who do they catch? It's K1 with his BKB up. Yuragi helped out by Amar. K1 sprinting around and they lasso the Razor, trying to drag him high ground, but the false promise, it's there. While, oh, look at the back, the Earthshaker's being zoned out, completely focused down by C-Smile. So no Blink Echo, Seb is dead. No buyback for him. If Beastcoast can keep on chasing, maybe find another catch. But they are going to be calm, deliberate about their stance, thinking about objectives.
Baiting 2 big things from OG, BKB on Razor and also False Promise. I mean, they did invest a lot. Rupture and Lasso, but C-Smile getting a solo kill on Seb.
Is that going to be his job for the rest of the game? Pango looks for the Earthshaker and keeps him out of the team fights?
It looks like it, because other heroes can't really close the gap and get there. Maybe Batrider, but you still gotta be aware of False Promise from Taiga, who does have a Blink Dagger, and also he found a big boy Philly, so that means that there's gonna be another item coming out to his inventory in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, keep building up that inventory. Stinger, very poor, 2,500 net worth, buys the Tome, closing in on level 10. But he's half the net worth of any of the other supports, really having a struggle here on this one. What about this Gojira Rubik? What's he up to?
Currently not having a stolen spell, but yeah, in terms of farm, he's doing okay. Does have that Force Staff available, which is going to be great save to push people out of trouble.
Oh, the BKB comes out, but it's a little late. Blown up by OG. Beastcoast full retreat now. Tornado catches Marcy. BZM and Sab not quite able to line up the Fisher.
They're looking for a potential Roche spawn. Minute and 20 until it's going to spawn. But getting another kill on Bloodseeker, that's a big one.
Yeah, keeping tabs on K1, stopping his farm rate. Incredibly important for you, vital for OG. Roshan 1 minute away. Something that every Ursa lineup desperately wants to get. That second Roshan.
There is observer ward from Beastcoast that is scouting things out inside, I mean not inside the pit, but in front of the pit. So when OG decides to go in, if they're not smoked, that's gonna get scouted. And Beastcoast, they definitely need to contest it. Big item coming out on Visper relatively soon, about to finish off his BKB. And if Bloodseeker can somehow farm this full Heaven's Halberd, that's gonna be big.
Disarm the Razor, the Ursa, someone like that. While BKB is always incredibly important against Invoker. Of course, he is the king of spellcasting. If you've got those BKBs up, you can extend these team fights a little longer and allow K1 to gather up the scraps at the end. But there's that magic community for the Ursa now as Roshan is about to respawn. Dire Ob sees outside the pit. Radiant Observer would see top jungle. So both teams with plenty of vision to play into. Just a matter of getting yourself into those positions with smokes to bypass the vision your opponents have. And Ursa, is he standing? He's on top of the high ground, isn't he? He's waiting on top of his observer board. Oh, he's very nearby.
If someone shows up, he's going to try and go for the kill.
Looking for the jump with his blink BKB. Nullifier next for him as well.
That's going to take some time, but inside the Roche pit, they go.
And Beastcoast will absolutely be aware of this.
They will smoke with only 2 heroes. They want to break the smoke just to make sure that someone's inside a pit, and Stinger's smoke has been broken.
I know what's going on. Tornado misses this time.
It's too late.
Cold Snap comes in and Roshan is already dead. Beastcoast don't get there in time.
That was
OG.
nicely done by OG, and now the sword that you mentioned. Yuragi is chasing. He's trying to bait some spells.
All the vision in the world. C-Smile also being targeted by the Razor Invoker, and Yuragi fissured out. X marks the spot, but Yuragi does have the Earth Shock to get over the top, while Amar ruptured up. Rolling Thunder, not going to get through the BKB of the Razor, while Yuragi kills Stinger in the back lines. Tiger trying to defend his mate.
Oh, not the red go!
Amar gets a double, but Seb, he's found him in the back. He'll take down 3 as well with this Razor. Yuragi chasing Whisper, but he gives up. Now BKB of the Batrider not allowing Yuragi to keep giving chase.
They split up the fight. They know that Ursa can cause a lot of issues, bait a couple of spells, because he does have that shard from Roshan, so relatively hard to kill. Didn't even pop his BKB. He does have Aegis on top of that, and Beastcoast invested a lot of time trying to kill Razor, who does have a BKB. They couldn't even kill Taiga, because there was a false promise, and the BZM, like a true bro he is, uses Spirit Vessel, and this is going to be another one. That's a dieback from Stinger.
Yeah, he's gone for 60. And when OG are able to split this team fight like 3 different ways, you know, we're looking back at the replay here, there are literally 3 different fights happening at the same time. Got Razor Invoker focusing the Pango, you've got Ursa chasing one, and you've got these 2 supports sitting behind them at the same time. Roche grabbed up by OG. And immediately, you know, we saw Yuragi, like he's up here, he's 1v2ing. The rest of the team fighting the Pango back down south.
He's putting them in a spot where they kind of don't want to be. Stolen Fisher there from Stinger, Schofield, but not being able to get anything done with it. And this is a big item. Invoker going for Lotus Orb. He's going to have it right now. So putting that on Razor means that Amar will have free padding in these fights, because there's not going to be Rupture on him, and also you can't use Lasso.
Ooh, that Sunstrike was well placed, but C-Smile has walked back into the Forge Spirit while K1, he's focusing down Amar, in we go with the Swashbuckle, but he's dead on C-Smile's Pango. The Tornado not going to land there on the Bloodseeker. And OG, they keep it up. Warding as they go along, they know that they're not really reliant on too many long cooldown abilities. They can keep catching with Fisher. This shard keeping the stuns, locking them in, and Yuragi slays another.
Long distance poking. Fisher into Tornado. Yuragi's still thinking about going in. If he gets another stun, this might be a kill.
Yeah, they've got Sunstrike in, but Whisper, he's on the high ground this time.
Gajira coming in clutch with the telekinesis to be able to save him. OG a bit limited in terms of tower damage when sieging the high ground, so they still need to take one fight, potentially get a kill, and then go for the buildings.
But yeah, OG have these 4 heroes that don't have to commit at all. Like you say, they are just poking and prodding from long range. And Ursa with Enrage and Aegis, he's the one that goes and dives into the middle of the pack of Beastcoast. They don't want to focus him. He takes too long to kill. He has 2 lives. So the only choice that Beastcoast has these past few minutes is to turn and run away. Seb, BZM and Yuragi. In the triangle we go.
Ursa just hit level 20, so there's going to be even more damage when he connects onto a target. He was thinking about getting Nullifier, but decided to go for the Basher, which is being delivered as we speak.
Oh, C-Smile, he's got the Thunder out, getting on top of Tiger, rupturing him as well. A lot of focus on this Oracle to get rid of the save, and he's got his ulti off! No way! I know OG, free reign to turn around and play into Beastcoast. They'll take down one, swiping away at another. Yuragi with a double kill.
They decided to go for Taiga, but in the end he manages to survive. Did have that Ghost Scepter, gets the ulti off in the last second. A lot of commitment. There's still lasso available on Visper.
That Fisher allowed him to do that as well.
Seb has been on point with Earthshaker this time around. Keeping the distance, getting big echo slams, and also those Fishers playing with Invoker throughout the whole game, getting the kills multiple times on Pangolier, and they're not done. K1 does not have a BKB.
Oh, does he not?
Seb knows exactly where he is.
Seb. Oh, he doesn't find him. That was close.
He was looking for him. He was looking for him because he saw a big camp being missing, so that he knew exactly where that is.
He was so very near finding him. And watching this back, it really is down to this Fisher from Seb to save Taiga, because you said the double-edged sword of Fisher against Pango. Like, yes, you can kind of stop him and hold him in place, could force him to roll around, but he got his ulti off just in time.
Even if Oracle dies there, they still lose the fight. Like, there's way too many targets to focus. OG, a team that does have 3 scaling cores, and a lot of the time it's just like that because Amar is a very greedy offlaner, and now him having Lincoln Sphere plus a Lotus Orb from Invoker, it just gets very difficult for them to use Rupture and Lasso.
Yeah, the difference between the Pango, and this Invoker Razor definitely becoming apparent now. C-Smile does have that additional layer of defense with his BKB. Not something we often see, as Gojira is blown up, and Yuragi, K1, all this kill could be quick. They get the false promise very fast onto the Razor. Onto the Ursa as Razor gets disposed back in towards K1, but he's dead under his tier 3. Beastcoast, they don't have buyback.
He's
on the
looking for an angle.
And Seb is waiting for his chance to strike. Stinger down, C-Smile out of mana, has to pop his wand to get to high ground.
So that's a buyback there from Gojira. They need to heavily invest, managing to get the 2 kills. Still, OG respecting going for the high ground because of these displacement abilities that Beastcoast has.
Yeah, the ability to play so aggressively as OG. Keep their vision up in that mid lane in this triangle so they can just set up base camp here. And Seb, yeah, still has Echo Slam ready to play around with Blink and Force Staff with some great gap closing tools. 20 seconds for K1 to respawn, but...
And also Seb protecting that ward, not allowing Beastcoast to get nowhere near it and potentially de-ward it.
Meatballs drop down on that wave. Trying to clear out the tier 2. As Taiga TP's back into mid. Beastcoast absolutely need that rallying cry from the crowd now.
They need that buff. Even though they do have Dire buff, they still need some chanting from the crowd to get them back into the game. And Beastcoast smoking up, trying to find an opening here.
Yeah, they've always got the Whisper buff, now have the Dire buff, crowd buff. Maybe
Radiant using a scan, they know exactly where Beastcoast is.
The smoke buff has been revealed by
Amar's
Amar.
gonna tank it.
Lincoln's pop, BKB on Amar, onto K1, draining all of his damage while C-Smile is rolling into the back for the false promise in. Lasso catching Tiger, but he's already cast his spells. Taking down the Oracle Shore, K1, he's aiming for Amar, angling towards the Razor, and he gets a double kill.
BZM has been found.
It's a triple for K1! Who else can they get? Because Whisper's bashed and killed by Yuragi. K1, this 1v1 fight, I'm not sure you can win it against the Ursa with the Seb Echo. They'll take him down as well.
Does he have another one? That's a full team wipe. It was pretty much 2 versus 5 in the end. Beastcoast looked like a really good opening, managing to control BZM in the backline. Spangler heavily committing, getting that kill, but in the end, like, maybe if they had Heaven's Halberd, it was off cooldown for like 2 or 3 seconds, maybe could have made the difference, but yeah, Ursa dealing way too much damage, and Seb on the Earthshaker doing God's work.
There was like 2v4, and OG somehow still come out on top. This Seb Shaker, he had a shaky start in the group stage.
He
didn't look too hot, but coming into this playoff, incredible stuff from him and OG.
Stay away from the Fisher.
Do not get aftershocked. Buildings falling, range racks down. Melee might be a little step too far though, but they're going to focus it. They want to break the base here. 10 seconds still remain on a lot of these deaths of Beastcoast. So OG get that full set of barracks as Roshan is respawning.
It's the golden spawn. That's third Roshan. Let's see what he has to offer with his presence.
There's a refresher shard for him. And Tiger scouts it out.
Amar, he does have 3,000 gold still available, so his next big item, they knew exactly where they are. Amar, maybe if there was a Lotus Orb put on for BZM a bit earlier there, and then there would be no rupture, but yeah, Taiga this time around getting dragged after using ulti. Whisper, he wants to be able to deal damage, and if Oracle's out of the fight, that means a lot of damage is taken out, and K1 did a lot of work.
Yeah, but he can't duel this Ursa in a straight 1v1 there. You can see how much damage Yorangi does. Oh, both teams are smoked up here. The smoke breaks on K1, the Fisher, the catch with the nullifier. They've got him chain stunned and dead. He's gone for 80 seconds. Roshan belongs completely to OG now. Beastcoast, back to your base.
They need to fall back. Oh,
Good
Gojira. Fade Bolt on summons to be able to stop the TP and potentially not die there, so I guess this one goes to Earthshaker. Let's see who decides to pick it up.
Well, we've got Aegis refresher on Yorangi.
They gave it to Ursa. He's already level 25, and looking at Seb level 23 on Earthshaker, closing in very close to his Octarine core. And he also found a really good neutral item on Earthshaker, Ceremonial Robe, to be able to land those stuns, and they last longer.
Yeah, doing more damage as well.
Also, Nullifier is going to take out something that we mentioned, Fortune's End plus a Nullifier against Shard from Bloodseeker. That means you don't have that extra pure damage, and you don't have attack speed. So that's pretty big.
Yeah, especially when Ursa now is incredibly tanky. That Bloodseeker Shard does wonders. There's the Octarine core finished by Seb as OG. Oh, they've lassoed one. Whisper has found Tiger. The follow through from the C-Smile. Ghost Scepter comes. He's defended with the Lincolns. Forced
Amar
out
does have refresher.
From Yorangi. Amar, he refreshes up to kill off Whisper. Doesn't quite find the kill. He's in the fountain. But K1, he's struggling. He's dead.
Amar's going to go to fountain.
No way! Amar, the fountain farmer. What a player!
And they will call it. In the end, they decide to dive the enemy fountain and get some extra kills from it. What an aggression from OG in game number 1. Seb Earthshaker did a ton of work. These early rotations, and so did BZM. I guess Beastcoast, they were not ready for some of these TP rotations from BZM. Level 5, level 6 Invoker TP rotations.